Alright, so I just wanted to give a final update here on the electric that I ran out in my shed. Um, it's been a little while since my first video about this. I actually took the video so I could post it and let a friend see it that lives out of state. So that was my original reason for posting it on YouTube. I never thought that it would get you know hundreds of views, which is small potatoes for some of the big guys on YouTube, but nonetheless, I figured I'd just film a little final update on how I made out with finishing this project. Panel. This is a different panel than the one I initially installed here, which was that small Murray panel that I found that I was raving about in the first video. That wound up not working out at all. Simply because it didn't have a ground bar inside of it, and that's something that you need in a sub panel. You need to have the ground and the neutral bars unbonded, so they have to be dedicated strictly for grounding and dedicated strictly for neutral bus, because of the way you have to wire up the sub, which is bonded to the electrical panel inside the house, and also two ground rods have to be pounded into the ground out here, at least 6 feet apart, and bonded with bare copper wire going to, like I said, the ground bar that's dedicated in this panel, and the other one didn't have that. This does. The other nice thing about this, it allows me to actually run a two-legged, 240 circuit by, taking up two of the breaker spots with a double pole breaker. The other one wouldn't allow you to do that. If I wanted to run 240, that takes up both slots in there, and then I'm done. I can't run anything else, 120 circuits or any other 240. So this is nice. It was only about $5 more. Found it in Lowe's, and it works out perfect. So that's all wired. There's the conduit down on the bottom there coming up out of the floor of the shed. 1 inch. Small piece of flex just to angle it up to the panel, which is surface mounted on this pegboard that I have on top of the studs. There's actually a plywood reinforcement board behind there, and everything runs off of that. So what I basically have, a little different from the first one also, I have 3 circuits right now, one for lighting. So one of those pieces of Romex coming out of there is behind the pegboard here and runs around underneath this window, comes back up. I mentioned in the first video I was going to redo that box, which I wound up doing. Get the camera a little better here. I have a PVC outdoor type box mounted here now, so I could sleeve the wires going up. So they come out up there now. One wire going to a light that I installed on the outside of the shed here to give me light out here at night. Fluorescent, compact fluorescent fixture. That's on a photocell. That's on this switch, which I just keep on so it's energized all the time and comes on and off automatically. The other switch is for the lights in the shed here, like I said in the first video. 2 fluorescent fixtures, works out nicely, plenty of light. So that's one circuit. The other circuit, what I wound up doing, that's the other piece of Romex coming out of the bottom. Basically all it does is it loops up to this first quad box, into this first outlet, which is a GFI. All the other outlets after that are on the load side of that outlet, so they're also GFI protected. So you got this one here next to it. There's another quad down here. Both these outlets are on that as well. And then off that outlet here, just move this, there is another outlet in this cabinet up here. That's a pretty cool outlet that I found online. Bought that, and I'm going to plug all my battery chargers into that for the, so I can hide them up in there. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. It's been super busy. The only other thing I did to this, there's another piece of Romex coming out of the top. That is the 3rd circuit. That just runs along the whole top of the shed. Okay, and comes down this wall over here and out. And what that is for is from my pool filter, which I have an outlet mounted on the side here with a timer. 20 amps, dedicated circuit, GFI protected. The only other side I wanted to show of this is that this is where that conduit actually comes in the shed, completely hidden. I don't like the look of conduit coming up on the side of a building and, you know, having the conduit fittings. If I can do it, I try to hide that all the time. So it is 2 feet down, comes up into the sill plate and up to the panel. So the trench that I dug, runs from here all the way in this flower bed and all the way up to the house here. It was a 110-foot dig, 2 feet down. Took all day. Had my father-in-law here helping me, my buddy Mike, and this is basically how we brought it into the house. I know I just told you I don't like the look of this stuff, but there is no other way to do this, obviously, with the foundation on here. So, 1-inch conduit is the feed for the electric panel. Has the 4 wires going out there, 2 hots, neutral, and ground. The smaller 3/4 conduit. Next to it is a spare piece of pipe that I put in the ground that is terminated in the other side of the wall of the shed, and that's for me to run alarm out there and phone, maybe internet, cable, I don't know, anything else basically I want to run out there. An extra $50 in pipe and fittings. Dig once, put it in there, plan for the future. I'm definitely going to run the alarm out there right away. That is actually my project for this weekend, so at least that's hooked up to my ADT panel in the house. So if anyone goes in there and tries to steal my shit, it'll activate the alarm. And the other thing I ran in this, in the ground with this, is this pipe. Right here you see 3/4 pipe that goes in and is connected to the water in the house. About a foot down, it transitions over to PVC, 3/4 PVC, and that runs in this trench also, all the way back there, so I have water back at the shed as well. So, I did run one other thing in that trench. There's 4 total pipes in there. The other thing I ran was 1-inch poly pipe for the sprinkler system, irrigation. And that's just so I could reconfigure the zones in the back over here. Once I put the shed in, I had to eliminate a few of them, and then, you know, they weren't spraying right anymore. And the back over here really didn't have enough heads to begin with. So I ran into the sprinkler zone around the back there, water everything. So that PVC pipe that I was telling you about, let me show you in the shed. PVC transitions back up to copper over here. And my redneck light. This comes up out of the floor down there. Kind of hard to see. Transitions back to copper under the ground. Copper elbow and right out to the that faucet that I put out here for a garden hose. All working and hooked up. Nice amount of pressure over 3/4 pipe, and that just allows me to water everything back here without having 100 feet of hose out. And I mean, that's really it. 2-day project, digging the hole, running the electric, and, you know, probably another week's worth of prep, just doing stuff in here, picking up the materials and whatnot. But a nice project that I'm very happy with. Came out nice. And, you know, it'll meet all my needs for the future out here as well. So I hope this helps a few of you, or anyone watching this, with doing a project similar to mine. I wish I had some more pictures or videos of when I had the trench opened up, but that was kind of, you know, I had people over and I didn't want to be, taking time out to film video and whatnot when they're over here donating their time helping me, so I wasn't going to do that. But like I said, it's just a 2-foot deep trench. In the bottom of that trench, 2 feet down, is my conduit. The 2 pieces, like I said, the 1 inch and the 3/4, a foot of dirt, and then I added the PVC pipe for my water faucet and the poly pipe for the sprinklers, so there's a little bit of separation between the pipes, and then another foot of dirt and the grass that I put back over it, and you can barely tell I dug there now, almost 3 weeks later. So perfect job. Like I said, I hope it helps a few of you. By no means is it a tutorial if you don't have no clue what you're doing. That's not the point of this. It's for someone like me, I guess, that has knowledge of electric and is able to tackle a job like this, and maybe just looking for some new ideas, because pictures and videos are a lot better than reading stuff online. So the one last thing that I didn't show you, which you're not going to be able to really see, is those ground rods I was telling you about that you need. It's an NEC code now. You have to put these in. The ground wire also comes out where my boot is underneath here. Comes out. There is a ground rod in the ground right around this area. Pound it in. It's either a 6 or 8 foot rod you have to pound in flush with the ground. There's a bonding ground clamp on there that the wire runs to. And then right underneath, like where these ladders end, there's another rod pounded in the ground, and the wire basically just loops out of this rod, buried under the ground, connects to that rod. Here's your grounding. So that's it. Thanks for watching.